Hi everyone, and welcome to my next video in my Bayonetta 2 series for the Wii U. This is Chapter 14, The Witch Hunts. So Chapter 13 had you coming back to the world of Bayonetta 1, and so that was a nice nostalgic trip down memory lane, and this one kind of continues in the same spirit of that chapter, except it really amps things up with these mechs that you controlled in the Remembrance of Time, I believe that was the name of it, the pre-prologue chapter at the very beginning of the game. This is almost like a bit of a reward for going through what you've been through so far, and yeah, it just kind of kicks ass. These mechs are fun to control. You would think they'd be super clunky and everything based on their size, but for the most part they're very responsive. You can activate Witch Time. They have decent combos, a little simplified compared to what you can do just with Bayonetta herself, but great visual effects. Everything just looks fantastic, and you take out those angels with very little trouble, even though I think I'm just sort of getting used to the mechs in this part of the game. So overall in this chapter I don't do very good. I think I get a silver and I miss a verse or two. But still, this it's so funny because I've been going back to Bayonetta 1 this week as well after having finished this game, and it's considerably harder, I would say. I would think, not I would think, but I would say that Bayonetta 1 is definitely a game that starts off much harder and remains so throughout the entirety of the game as compared to Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2, I think, is more accessible. It's not as punishing, just kind of given the fact that I've only had to continue once on second climax. But it's still difficult to get platinums and pure platinums and find all the hidden verses. So the core challenge is still there for people who want to go for the pure platinum, especially on the non-stop infinite climax highest difficulty, which I haven't done in either game, and who knows if I ever will, but it's there for people who want it, and so I think that represents a huge value for people who want to put in the time. And even if you're, I don't want to say casual, but if you just want to play through this game to experience the visuals and the story, and just kind of everything that it has to offer as a campaign, I think that's more than satisfactory for action game fans. Just having played through this once, I felt like I got my $60 worth, and that's not even taking into account going for pure platinums throughout all the difficulties, and the fact that Nintendo and Sega included the first Bayonetta with the game. I mean, that's a 2-for-1 deal. So that's great. So I really do hope this game sold. Something tells me it won't sell, great, but I'm hoping that the numbers are good. And I don't want to see it just sell like 40,000 or whatever. I hope it does do at least somewhere in the six figures to show that the Wii U owners, the few of us that are out there, relatively speaking, supported Platinum Games with this, which is something that's very different from the typical Nintendo style game, which is usually very cartoony, family friendly, E-rated, and a little maybe simpler. Definitely, I don't think there are any Nintendo games out there that have such a robust and complete combo system. But yeah, I really do hope that the game gets the support it so deserves, and it really does. Something that I have mentioned in past videos is the fact that I am not a third-person action game fan. Just haven't ever really cared for them all that much, but Bayonetta, and especially Bayonetta 2, has me kind of falling in love with the genre, and I do hope that I can enjoy other games after playing this one, because after this it's hard to imagine anything living up to what this game delivered. So, yeah, getting back to this chapter, this is looking at it again, and I didn't even really think about it while I was playing. I love that this chapter is more or less a boss rush from, you know, all the bosses like Fortitude and Temperance and everything. Actually, I don't know if Temperance is in here. He might be. But fighting all of them in quick succession with a little bit of exploration in between. But it just keeps on moving. It keeps on building. Yeah, it's just really, really exciting. So here, Vigrid is more or less destroyed, so you take to the skies. And so yeah, it's just the amount of variety that Platinum put into this game is impressive. And even though this is another chapter where you are controlling technically a vehicle, this one's really fun because it controls like you are still in your human form, but with the additional power, and it looks good and kind of brings to mind mech themed anime of the 80s and 90s. Who knows if they still make those? I haven't followed the anime scene in probably a good decade now, but yeah, like stuff like Macross and all the Gundams and things like that. It's just yeah, it has this not even retro, but it gives you those feelings of what those anime used to be like and how much they influenced me. And so getting kind of close to the end of this chapter, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I was admittedly distracted quite a bit by the very nice visuals throughout this chapter. And so I think overall I might get a silver, which is not good whatsoever. So on that verse, yeah, I got a silver. Bronze on damage. I just do take a lot of damage. And so every time you fight a boss in this stage and you take him out, it throws another one at you. So I think this is like the fifth one you have to fight just in this chapter alone. So really exciting stuff, and it's paced just exceptionally well. I was really happy with this one. This chapter was super fun, and you know, you're getting towards the end, and as I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, it feels like the game's way of rewarding the player. And here's kind of a throwback to Route 666 in Bayonetta with the motorcycle stage where she starts it up with her middle finger, except this time she destroys the boss. So really fun. Look at that stone combo score. And that's the end of Chapter 14, The Witch Hunts. One of the more exciting chapters in the game. Really fun, and I'm looking forward to going back to that one to play through it again, find that hidden verse, and definitely up my rank. So anyway, thanks for checking this one out, and I will see you in Chapter 15.